how to properly do a thorough groom. We've already got Oyster up here in the tub. Now with bathing, especially with your larger dogs, I've always found, coming from a veterinary community, that when you're doing baths, that is a lot different than when you're out doing training. So sometimes we have to have a little compassion and understanding with the dog instead of being like up here, up here, up here. Sometimes we meet them where we're at just to make it more comfortable and make sure that they enjoy the bath. So we're first gonna thoroughly soak him and make sure we can see all the way down to the skin with the water.
So, but before then, we brushed him out, we did his ears, we did his nails.
Yes.
Because you have to get rid of mats beforehand. Don't try mats and then wash them. You know, get rid of the mats first. Make sure you can brush him out thoroughly. Take off his good collar if you need to. Right now he has a slip lead on, so it doesn't soak his good collar.
Hold this for me real quick, Jimmy. I'll borrow this for a second. Before you start watering your dog, see how we can see? It's okay, Oyster. All the way down to the skin. And we can pick random spots and we can make sure we can see all the way down to the skin before you put water in. Because what happens, I don't know how you want to flip that, sorry. Because what happens, mats, when they get wet, they tighten and they become incredibly hard to get out. So for poodles, labs, golden retrievers, any of your longer hair breeds or those breeds that can mat easily, you need to make sure before you get them wet that you are combing thoroughly and you can see all the way to the skin.
Okay. So next up is soak them.
We need to get one of those little attachments for this that's only like a foot long that's just bungee. Oh, you're still recording. I'm sorry. I thought you paused it. It is a good recommendation. I always start with the back because it allows the dog to adjust to what we're doing. So if you spray right in the face, same with humans. A lot of people don't want to just get hit right in the face or jump into water. They always kind of tap their toe. That's what we're doing here so that it doesn't ruin the whole bath. Good job. Because I'm washing, you don't mind hooking that up, and then if he starts getting antsy, go ahead and lure him. Or if he's just doing really good.
And you want to reward him.
This is how we make baths enjoyable. Bathing like this is not a natural instinct for a dog, so it's not something that they're going to want to regularly do without having some sort of compensation.
You like to get paid for your work, they like to get paid for theirs. Look how much time Holly's taking getting him all wet. You're in the video too, with your sign language.
One of the things that I like to do with thicker hair dogs, dogs that have double coats, is I like to flood it. So instead of holding the water back here and spraying, good boy, I will get it either really close or right on the hair and literally flood it. And that
But she's not using the highest power nozzle.
No, and that is, you just slowly, instead of, and this is also on a lower setting already, but I have seen some garden hoses that are insane.
Yeah.
But your basic shower setting.
You know, we do have aprons, waterproof aprons for this.
It's fine.
Well, it's not going to help you now. But we do have, so that is something you can get also. Jimmy's wearing swim clothes. You know, don't wear your good clothes when it comes time to groom and bathe your dog, or you're going to regret it. He's like a mermaid now. He's half wet.
Good job.
I meant the dog, not you, but you could be a mermaid too, Jimmy.
Good job.
Good boy. That's a good boy, Oyster. It's a good boy.
Don't mind me.
She wants to be a ballerina.
she was a fairy. Yeah, I can't do these. Oh, good job, Oyster. Now you may have noticed I still have not washed the face, and I am not going to until I'm ready to rinse soap. Couple reasons. The number one thing that will drive a dog nuts throughout a groom or bath is having a wet face or water or soap dripping in their eyes. So I'm going to get from behind his ears down, completely soap, and then I'm going to get his face a little wet, soap, and everything's going to wash. And that way he gets more mad at the end rather than the beginning. If he gets mad at all. Wait, I'll let you shake in a second. I wouldn't eat that oyster, but to each their own.
Oyster, I'll give you something you can eat. Oyster,
There you go.
there's something you can eat.
So it's taken her a minimum of 5 minutes here to soak him. If you're doing it and it's taking you 30 seconds to soak your dog, you're not doing it the right way.
Correct. And if you think that you have a full bath on your dog, like this done, in 10 minutes or less, you were also incorrect.
So how long should this take?
With someone experienced, and I'm going to say from a full bath, maybe a light trim, nails, ears, face, as well as the handheld dryer, and then freshen up, 30 minutes to an hour depending on the dog, bare
Okay.
minimum. You should be able to flood the fur when we're ready to wash soap, and you will see no soap particles down coming out of the water dripping down.
Perfect.
If there's soap, you're going to cause an issue. But we'll get to that in a second. Okay, we're getting ready to soap.
Okay, so what do we do?
Okay,
This is what we have right now. Naked D matte, and then the blueberry facial.
so in my experience, especially with dogs that have longer hair or maybe greasier coats, I will use conditioner first because oil can break down grease differently. So we're gonna rub conditioner.
It's like doing a double cleanse.
Yes. So we're gonna break down, that's gonna cling all the oils to the conditioner. We'll start rinsing it, but that doesn't have to be perfect. Then we'll use the shampoo to get the rest out.
Then we'll do a little leave-in.
Give me this.
Oh, we don't need to see Holly washing her face off. Look at how pretty Oyster is.
He's so
Oyster.
pretty.
Oyster.
Okay, so she got a handful, and now she's...
Depends on your shampoo and conditioner. This is quite thin, so this is easy to spread around. You can run some down the back and then use the sprayer to help dilute it down and go down the sides a little bit. And then you can add more where's needed. If you buy big jugs of shampoo, some of them may tell you to dilute first, so make sure you read it. Spray. Good job, Oyster. And I'm just doing a little trickle just so I can distribute the conditioner a little bit easier.
So you know you're not using a whole bottle of conditioner.
Back here we really want, because obviously this is the
pretty butt fluff.
butt fluff, also potty area. Bathing is a really great time to make sure you truly have your hands on your dog from a medical perspective. You know, you can do, I'm going to pick up your leg, Oyster. You can do things like this to see if it's causing pain while you're washing. That way you know if you need to contact your vet when something may be bothering him or her. So make sure you get your hands all over your dog.
And this is a booster bath. We got this on Amazon. In the Florida sun, they don't last forever, but it is nice to have a raised enclosed area for your dog. There's a drain. The drain broke, so Todd put the PVC. You can see the PVC right there. Todd put the PVC on there so it drains out easier. You can get them with steps coming up. Like, I like having these,
Water.
but it's not a requirement.
Just a little bit behind your ears.
And so she's adding a little bit more conditioner.
The spot right here behind the ears in most dogs that have even like short, medium to longer hair is the #1 to match. So make sure that you really, really, really check that there's no knots or anything like that that you need to cut out.
It's also a little woolier, right? It's usually, it feels like a different texture than the rest of the coat. So what I will personally do is I will get in there with thinning shears and I will thin that area out.
Exactly what I do too. Yep.
Yep.
Because it's just fuzzy and wispy, and even if you comb your dog every day, all it takes is them shaking their head for it to wrap up again. So.
Yeah, and it's woolly woolly.
We've got a whole new theme to our videos this go around.
Right?
So you could see even the conditioner, even though it's not really a frothing or a foaming conditioner, but you could still see the stuff coming out. If this were shampoo, we would just have to keep going and going until there's no longer any more residue coming out of the fur. If you leave residue of any type in the fur and it gets on the skin, it can cause a lot of allergy issues, just itching. It can even cause some chemical burns in some instances, so
that's
just
not
be
good.
very careful.
Do you find some shampoos are better than others?
Yes.
Do you like groomer grade shampoos?
Yes, if they're appropriate for your dog. So I say that because there are different types of shampoos and it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. With shampoos, some dogs need very sensitive skin shampoos, and that's where I do.
Like oatmeal?
Yes.
Shampoos
Oatmeal are completely unscented. Some dogs need medicated shampoo, but for the most part, if your dog doesn't have issues, as long as it's from a reputable pet brand or even one that's been evaluated as being a good pet brand, then I'm happy with that. I like personally using Wahl products, WAHL.
Oh, yeah.
I've used these last
Those,
time.
they sent me, I don't know, 16 gallons of shampoos and conditioners, I think. I was like, holy smokes. And then the blueberry facial we've bought before, but, you know, they're going to send me and it's good and I like it. It makes me happy.
I thought that was a tick on her ear. His ear.
No, it was a scabby, huh?
No, it was a piece of food.
Oh. And it's better than a
So
scabby.
the biggest takeaway is if you test a product on your dog, if you don't know how it's going to work, always just do a sample test, or a sample spot, same with humans, see how they do a day later, and if they seem to be fine, you could use it.
Where would you do the sample spot at?
Somewhere that you could easily see, and that is not going to drive them crazy if it starts itching too bad. So,
like the back.
Yeah, so personally I would choose right above the tail where normally you would put other medications, things like that, or again, somewhere that's just visible. You could even do the tip of the tail. It's the same skin. But also just keep in mind, if you put it here, it's essentially still gonna have oils that are leaking down. So just try to put it somewhere that's, stupid ant, that you can wash off easily without completely soaking your dog.
Yes.
Good job, Oyster. If you have the ability to in a tub like this, I personally prefer to not lean over dogs when you're bathing, especially if it's your new dog you're taking home and they don't know you yet. Because you're doing this and you're doing all sorts of weird crap and it freaks the dog out.
And don't put your face in your dog's face unless you know the dog and you know the dog's not going to go nom nom. So like having clients in for all those years when we did Baz, it was always, you always start at the end, even now, right? But we can put our face in Bert's face and know that he's just going to give you a kiss. Same with Oyster. That might not be true for your newer dog or for your dog. I don't know what his history's been, how he's been with Baz. So safety always comes first.
Yes. You either need to have somebody holding the dog or you need to have some sort of safety in place, like what they're going to be having here soon. You can have a slip lead, and it's important that it's a slip lead so that they can't escape it, you know, hooked to a safety rail so that you can move and know that the dog is only going to have, you know, 18 inches of space, give or take.
So while you're doing this,
Yes, ma'am.
you always have a hand on your dog. you are not going to, like Jimmy's here with his, for that. So Holly can move around and not worry about it. So if Holly comes over to me and takes the phone and goes over to show you something, it's not an issue because Jimmy has his hand on the dog. If not, you have to have your hand on the dog. Don't ever leave the dog, especially tethered, unattended.
Yep.
I mean, with this, what's the worst that's going to happen if he's not tethered and you walk away from him? He jumps out, he crashes it, and he runs around the yard and gets disgusting again and needs another bath, right? But if you're tethering your dog, especially always have one hand on your dog.
Yep.
So that means everything's right there. So we have the conditioner, we have the shampoo, we have a slip lead, we have everything. If you notice too, whenever Holly put the hose down, she attached the hose handle part of it to the tub. She didn't go and put the hose back on the hose bib.
All right.
You know, so it's right here. Okay, so conditioner, done.
Yep, we're about to do shampoo, so I'm gonna rinse his face.
And her face, just to show him what it's gonna be like.
Yes, exactly.
I like how you go the extra mile there, Holly.
This is the worst about long hair, it just sticks. What I would like for you to do, please, is to help get him used to this position, go ahead and lower his head like this. All the way back. There,
So
he
just
gets
like
it.
us when we go into the shower and we tip our head up whenever we wet our hair, same thing with the dogs.
Oh boy.
But they don't know that yet, so you just help them out with it. And this is something you can practice ahead of time too, with your dog not being in the bathtub.
And again, this is the face. There's a lot of sensitive parts. Okay, you can give him a break and we'll go back to it. This is just barely squeezing this and flooding the fur. I'm not full blast on his face and his ears. And
Jetstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need to use the jet stream for your dog to get out loose hair, that's fine, but that should only be done from the neck to the tail.
Neck down, collar down, guys.
All right, let's put your head back. Good, good, good. And notice how I'm not squeezing his muzzle. I am just guiding it up. He shouldn't be afraid to put his head back. Baths are a lot more enjoyable for everybody when your dog feels comfortable. Okay, you ready? Back, back, back. Good job.
Oh boy.
Yes. And then all I'm doing to get up here is I'm going to cover his eyes. Good job. And then just get around it. Let it finish dripping. And then we'll soak.
Oyster.
If your dog really, really does not like their face messed with, again, in a necessary procedure like this, it's better to have compassion and do what you can and then train on the rest later. Because the more you're fighting them with something they don't like, the worse it's going to be. So if they don't want their face, well then okay, we'll do everything else. When we're done, we can wipe off your face with a wet cloth.
Yeah, you can get a wet washcloth. Okay, so now we have the shampoo. So Holly's gonna do a pump. And notice how she rubs together on there, but just to extend out on both hands, she rubs it on, well, pats it on. It's not even rubbing.
It will be in a second.
I know, but what would you call this? Gliding it on to distribute it
Smearing.
evenly. Schmearing.
Whatever you want to.
We're gonna call him bagel instead of oyster.
And then, bagel. He's in everything. And then
He's a
notice I'm
marshmallow.
still not putting a lot of stuff on his face because realistically it doesn't need it. I mean, unless he got sprayed by a skunk, which that would be a whole different video. He doesn't need that. Okay, so I'm going to smear as much on the surface area that I can that I know I have to wash. And then we'll kind of wet it down and then start scrubbing it up in.
Just like with humans, if you get your shampoo in your hands and you rub it all together so it foams and you put it on your hair, you're missing it. Part of how they make shampoo, at least I know for humans, and I assume it's the same thing for dogs, is the rubbing together produces surfactants and that helps cling to the dirt to get it clean. So by putting it on like this and then getting it all shampooey, bubbly, is you're clinging the dirt to the sud and then it'll rinse off better. So if you're not washing your hair like this, putting it on and then getting it all fuzzy and try 2 washes, especially if you're going a day in between, then you're not doing it right. And try it the different way if you feel like your hair always feels dirty. It might be because you're not having proper technique. And technique, as SpongeBob has taught us, means everything. Technique.
See how my fingers are? Now that I know there's no bats or nothing, because we did that in the beginning.
Mats or bats?
Okay.
I thought you said bats at first, and I was like, huh? And I realized.
But you should be getting down to the skin, and this is where your dog can really enjoy these. Anyone that sees these videos on TikTok of their dogs actually enjoying baths, that's why. Is there, you make it enjoyable. Give them a little rub. Make sure you're feeling for lumps, bumps, any painful areas.
And coconuts. Lumps, bumps, and coconuts. Isn't that how it goes?
The coconuts are fair.
Okay. Good. You have to check everything in a male dog or a female dog. So when we were doing Doga once, I found Zoe, my border collie at the time, had a hot spot. And it was in a weird spot that I might not have noticed for a little bit, but because we noticed it, we're right next to a vet. We went in, we got her seen right after Doga, and we got the stuff we needed for it because I didn't have it at the time. So this type of stuff, getting hands on your dog, feeling your dog up, the foundation skills that you work on, like the name game, comes in handy here. Touching all over, purposeful petting comes in handy here.
Hold still.
If you just want to hit him, you can just hit him. Be like, it was a bug.
Well, that looks like a horsefly, unless you guys just have giant flies.
I don't know what it was. I was just kidding.
Okay, last two tootsies.
What? She's even getting his toes?
Yep.
All parts of the boy. All parts of your dogs.
This also helps with allergies, getting between the toes.
Yeah.
Helps clear out any pollen or anything that irritates them.
And we're not in a rush. We're, 22 minutes into this video right now. So, look at that. Look at, she's doing his hawk.
He likes to play in the sand. Yeah, that one too. Good job.
You want to have a clean dog at the end of this. And if they're clean, they can go longer between baths. If you're not getting your dog fully clean and he's looking like a ratchet mess afterwards, it's probably because you're not doing it this way. Now, Holly, you've worked in vets. Did your vet have a groomer?
Yes.
Was the groomer this thorough, or was it more like quick and get her done? Good.
No, it was mandatory that they had to be. Now, some will not, and it depends on your vet. Not only did we have a groomer, but we also had everyone trained on how to do proper baths in the event the groomer wasn't in, because you don't send dogs home
Dirty. Yeah. No, for sure.
covered in their own feces or whatever.
No. Oh, yeah. We had a dog come in. It was a poodle. It's 6 months old, Holly. Already hated going to the groomer. The groomer told him they needed elephant tranquilizer for this dog, and the dog should be so sedated that he's falling off of the table to groom this dog. And this dog was only 6 months old and it's a poodle, so monthly grooming for life.
Yeah.
So she didn't know what to do. She was hoping this dog would be her service dog. So we got the dog in and we worked with name game and grooming and stuff. Because I can do, like, I'm not going to do a pretty groom on a poodle, but I'll do a utility groom on a poodle.
Yeah, clean. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did this and the dog loved baths. She's still alive. Like, I think she's maybe 8 or 9 years old now. Loves baths, and it's all because of taking the time when she was young and not hoping it goes away or drugging the dog up.
Yeah.
Now, not every groomer is going to be the same.
No.
Right? So make sure that your groomer does a thorough job.
I have come across what I consider bad groomers, that they really do not have the patience to deal with dogs. And so that's where you see these really, really awful videos online of groomers choking dogs out. And
Oh, I've heard that too, because I've been in dogs for over 20 years now, and I've heard stories
job.
of the whole, like you hook them up on the grooming stand with a noose, and if they're bad, you just go, ah.
Yep.
And the dog falls off and gasps for breath, and then you're the one who saves him, and hopefully he won't do that. And that's a terrible way to go about doing it. Which is why some of these grooming places, like PetSmart and all, where you can see in, is a good thing. Now, it doesn't mean that your groomer is going to do that if it's not a see-in, but make sure that they're good. Talk to them. See what they're doing. I'm not saying you have to groom your own dog, but I want you to have the ability to, because guess what happened during COVID? You couldn't get in to see groomers. You couldn't get in to see vets. You had to be able to be a little more self-sufficient. And if you choose to send your dog to a groomer, it's not an issue. You know what to look for. If they're done in 20 minutes, it's probably not a full groom.
Yep.
There's groomers that come to your house, and that's really nice, too.
Sure is. Good job.
We did that for a while. We had someone come out here to the house, especially with the poodle puppies.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But what we found with the poodle puppies, when we had them, every week we had them up on the grooming table for something. We do brush outs, ears, and nails weekly, period. But with the poodles, because we know it's part of life, is we didn't want to say, well, wait until they're 6 months old. That's silly. Don't do that. So every week from about 5 weeks on up, we were doing something. And it started with an electric toothbrush, the butt end of it, rubbing against the poodle. And it got to be where we'd clean up, ears or face and fanny and feet. We clean that up like every other week, maybe every third week. We'd work on different parts of them. We'd clean up different parts of them, and we'd cut each poodle in a different clip. So like we had 2 girls I remember that were the same color, and they looked so similar. So one of them we gave like a mohawk, and the other one was clean. And so whenever the clean one left, the one with the mohawk was like, "Can you please shave the mohawk off now? Because I'd like to see her clean shaven." And like, you don't have the other dog there. Well, guess what happened? The whole rest of the time that we had was mohawk, now clean shaven, was called the original clean shaven dog's name by me the whole time, because she was the one who was clean shaven. Like, where was the mohawk? So when we had the poodles in, we would clip them different ways. Some of them would have bell bottoms, some of them wouldn't. Some of them would have legs, on there. Some of them wouldn't.
I love that.
Right? So everything was a little bit different. So just by looking at the dog, we knew who it was. We didn't have to look at the collar.
Good job, Oyster. Good job. Hey Vicki, for the purpose of this video and so people understand our current setting, would you be so kind as to tell us where we are currently located and what the temperature is?
I don't have my watch on, but we are in Central Florida. It is, not even mid-January yet?
Yes. So,
and it's 60 degrees outside?
67, 68.
67,
so you see we're using a hose. If you please use common sense. If you live somewhere that is not warm like this, do not bathe your dog outside. Like, there's bathing, because you're going to freeze them, even a golden. So
also in the summertime here, that hose is so hot with water. So while the dogs want some water, we have to run it to get all the hot water out of the hose that's been baking. Okay, so let's see how we're looking. I
actually love when they shake towards the end like that, because it really brings some of the soap out that maybe I missed.
Shimmy shake.
So don't necessarily discourage your dog from doing it, because it might help you figure out where there's extra soap. But now flooding it.
Yeah, I want to see the water running clear.
See the flood.
Nice. Look at all that clear.
And then look in the tub too, and you can even see that the soap is drained by now. Maybe
it's like an amusement park. You're at a water park.
Yep.
Yes. Good boy, Oyster.
Good boy.
Good boy.
And we are 28 and a half minutes into the video.
And we're just about ready to start drying.
Yeah.
Let me have paw. Thank you.
I wasn't gonna I was gonna pause it like while you lathered up, but it was really good, and we were able to talk and hopefully keep people entertained during it. So
good. Other paw.
And then I want to show the leave-in conditioner too. Yep. And then
yeah, that is next.
Yeah.
Can I have this paw? Good job.
That's while we dry.
Well, I know for humans, shampoo, condition, leave-in. That's the trifecta if you want to grow your hair nice, and then there's other things you can add to it, but shampoo, condition, leave-in all the time, every time you wash.
Good job.
And so with the dogs, though, it's opposite. It's conditioner, shampoo, leave-in.
Good job. Good job, Oyster. Give him some treats, please.
Good boy.
Good boy. See how he was uncomfortable with that, but he was still letting me do it. That's when we step in with treats and stuff. If you have a helper, or if you could just pause, let them know that they're doing good.
But make sure the treats are on you, so you're not leaving the dog to go across to get them and then come back. Like, we used to have a table set up right over here, and we'd put stuff on there, but then what would happen would be, we don't want to forget it, so you needed to have a helper here to bring you the stuff, and now it's just on the ground.
Okay, Oyster, and I think we got got everything.
So Holly's checking, making sure everything's washed away.
A little bit right there, I think. So the term squeaky clean is quite literal with dogs. Once you take the shampoo out, it should feel like you're squeaking across the fur. You shouldn't feel like you touched something crunchy or soapy or anything like that. Okay, now if you don't mind, because he is going to have to come back up for the drying, if you don't mind taking him, let him shake out a little bit and just keep him on concrete. Don't let him down the dirt. I'm going to drain this.
Good boy, Oyster. Good boy. Give me a shake.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, now what we're doing is the drying, especially for a dog of this size with this much hair. I'm letting him have a break with Jimmy. You know, that's his dad. And then Jimmy might be able to take him out to let him pee on the grass. I don't want him to get dirty in the sand. But it gives them a break, gives them an opportunity to go to the bathroom if they need to go. Even if your dog likes baths, throughout my entire career working with animals, I've realized that baths are exciting. Good, bad, or indifferent, they're exciting. So when they're done washing, take them out to go to the bathroom. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. You're going to start drying them. They're going to poop on the table. So, it's a nightmare. Strain this out.
Oyster, load.
So
job.
he got a little walk around potty break. Holly rinsed out the tub to get all the sand out of it. And now we're going to do the leave-in. So this is the first conditioner that we used. It's a D-Shed. She did that much.
Which is about a dime size amount.
About a dime, give or take, depending on your dog. And then I'm just going to get it a little wet. And just run it over. Especially in the hot spots that tend to tangle easily, so behind the ears. Lift up your paw. Under the pits. Lift up your paw. And if you keep the hair long, take just a smidgen more. Back right at the base of the tail on either side, if you want. So right in this area.
Okay.
It can get matted up.
So she's adding the water to it.
Just a smidgen. And then we're just gonna rub it in. You got a leaf on you already.
Oyster.
And then you could just kind of rub the rest of it down over the body, and then we're gonna towel dry them and blow dry them. And doing this before you towel dry will help.
With flyaways?
Helps with flyaways. It also helps absorb any of the conditioner that's maybe not stuck to any hair, so that you don't just have like a bunch of crunchy conditioner left after you dry.
You want soft and fluffy.
And that does not go down to the actual skin. So remember I said earlier, don't leave stuff on the skin, and that's why we water it down and just put a little. Now if you have an actual leave-in conditioner that's meant for that, this is more of a precondition. You can test it and do however it's directed.
Notice how nice Holly's being. It's like she has the towel hands and she's running towel hands over them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Now I will say with Angus, his favorite part of bath, which you may also like. Here, grab your face.
He loves that.
Yes, face. Oh, gorgeous. But if your dog doesn't like that, don't do that. With the damp part of the towel, you can just take one finger, go like this.
Get a hair out of your mouth.
Gently go in and clean the folds on the, external part of the ear canal. That will help cut down on all the cleanings in between. This should not be soaked, because then you can cause an ear infection. Just damp, just enough to scrape any gunk that's left. Let me have this here. Good job. And if you have a dog that is prone to ear infections, you may need to use a ear cleanser right after that that has a drying agent in it, but make sure you talk to a veterinarian before you do that. All right, now we can start drying.
Your hair looks so dry.
Is that Angus?
No, that's a goat.
Not that. I just heard a.
No, that's probably one of the puppies inside.
Oh,
Saffron
okay.
knows how to howl.
There we go. Nice. Nicely done. Okay, we're gonna move on to drying.